Zaria here alongside St. Severus. We are live at the Days of Sodom world premiere in Winchester, Virginia at the Alamo Drafthouse. People are starting to pack in. Everyone's got their goth attire. I'm feeling some really high energy and excitement for the film.
Absolutely. Very good energy. Everyone looks phenomenal. I'm seeing all different kinds of people from all over. And we even got a special somebody who came all the way from down under Australia. I'd like to introduce to you Nas from Australia.
Hello, Nas.
How's it going?
Great to see you. I'm loving the guy liner.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, looking great, man. Now I gotta ask you, you came all the way from Australia to Winchester, Virginia. Tell us about that journey.
Well, it was almost a 2-day journey, I would say. Yeah, but I'm not just representing Australia. I'm representing 3 countries today, right? So I live in Australia. I'm originally from Bangladesh, and I've got family in Canada. So 3 countries are supporting this movie right now. Crow means a lot to me because growing up in Bangladesh, one of the very first film in the English language I watched was Brandon Lee's Crow. And 20 years later, I'm actually in a Crow film at the premiere. So life is full of surprises.
If you had one word to describe how you're feeling about DOS, what would that one word be?
I would say pumped.
I think many are agreeing with that. So thank you so much, Nas. We can't wait to watch the movie with you, and we'll bring along our next guest.
Thanks, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. Cheers.
All right, we are joined here by the lovely Paula Black. Paula, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm great, a little bit nervous, but I'm excited to see the final film.
That's awesome. I mean, the energy is so good here tonight, and I have to ask you, you are playing a role that was well established in the original Crow. How did you approach a role such as the one of Sarah?
I did so cautiously because I know that the original Crow has a huge fan base. So I took that character and I made it into my own. I brought my own authentic self, and yeah, I stayed true to myself, but I also did so in honoring the original character.
That's awesome. And tonight is the world premiere. If there's one word to describe how you're feeling right now, other than nervous, what would that word be?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I want to see everyone on the big screen. So not just myself. I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to see myself. I just want to kind of see everyone else's performances because we put in a lot of work. It's been a couple years, so I'm just looking forward to seeing the final product.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by one of the producers of DOS. I'm here with Gary. Gary, how you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, ready to watch the movie. It's been a long process, ready to get this on the big screen.
Awesome, and I gotta ask, you did a lot behind the scenes. Tell me what it's like to be a part of something behind the scenes for such an anticipated project.
Oh, it was a great experience getting to see everybody, seeing behind the scenes. Everybody really worked together. One thing that really drew me to this project is the passion that the people had for it. The camera crew, the actors, Cody directing. Everybody really was trying to stay true to the character of the Crow and the comic book and the original film, and just such the passion being the sign behind the scenes. You could really feel it. You could tell that everybody was wanting to make this a magic movie. So very happy to see this get pulled off and we're done with it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and enjoy the movie.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by one of the co-writers of Days of Sodom, Jason.
How's it going?
How are you feeling tonight?
Good. This is exciting. Everybody looks really good, and I love the poster. I think it came out really awesome.
I love the poster too. It looks badass. Now I gotta ask you, being a co-writer, that's a lot of work, especially with a project like this. I gotta ask you, how were the conversations when you were writing the script with Cody?
They went on for a very long time. It took us 2 years to write this movie. And so it was a lot of phone calls because Cody and I live pretty far apart, so it was a lot of back and forth. Trying to figure these things out, trying to figure out plot points, taking stuff from real life. You know, some of it was borrowed kind of from events that happened in Baltimore at the time that I lived there. But yeah, trying to figure out the plot arc. It was a 2-year project just to write it, and then even after we started shooting, you know, there was more changes after that. But it was interesting.
Sounds like there's a big sense of accomplishment here.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, what was a big goal that you had for this film that you're going to see achieved tonight?
We wanted to do something that we felt was going to be well received by Crow fans. There had been a lot of Crow movies over the years. Obviously, the first one is really respected by fans. There's been a lot of other movies that weren't as respected, and we wanted to kind of avoid that sort of curse. So we went back to the comic book and really tried to, we sat down with a comic book and said, what makes this great? Like, what makes this something that people really connect with emotionally? And so that's what we really tried to do. And along those lines, we tried to make the villains really contemptible, like really horrible people. And so we'll see tonight if that unfolded well. But that I really the biggest goal for me was to make something that Crow fans would like, and so that's what I hope to see tonight.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your effort going into this film, and I hope we get to see your baby on the silver screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the director of photography, Constantine. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling really good, very excited to be here. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and there's a lot of people here. Everybody's fired up for it and just ready to see it on the big screen.
That's awesome. Now, you actually joined mid-production as DP. How was that? How did you approach a project that already had a little bit produced?
Yeah, it was a little bit daunting. I think they informed me that I was going to shoot about 40% of the film. It ended up being about 60%, so I had to look at the other DP's work and try to match the scenes as best as I possibly could. Coming into the project also, I knew this was a comic book inspired film, right? I mean, The Crow is such a big deal, so you initially do your research, but then talking with Cody, he wanted a more comic booky feel and the vision to it. So once we matched what the previous DP did, then I added a lot more color into it, and we just experimented with a lot more camera movement and added to make things a little bit more dynamic. Picking up after the previous person was a really good transition, I think, and I think the movie together comes really nicely.
That's awesome. Sounds like a really good challenge for you, right? But I gotta ask, what was your favorite scene to shoot?
That's a really tough one. I really love a lot of the scenes I shot, but I'm gonna say probably one of the favorite scenes to shoot for me was the fight scene in the church, where a lot of people get taken down, and there was just a lot of fight choreography as well as really interesting camera movements, and matching that all and working with Tim on that on the fight choreo and everybody else that was involved was just such a phenomenal time.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Can't wait to see your work on the big screen tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined here by Tim Rook. Tim, you are the stunt coordinator of DOS. I gotta ask, what is it like being a stunt coordinator for a comic book film?
Wow, no, thank you for the question and opportunity. So the graphic novels, the angles that you see from the graphic novels, really coming from choreographing the fights. We want to try to get things that actually match and align up really well, and it really was a great blend on Days of Sodom with Constantine, with the main film director, camera guy, and just really playing through all of these different interesting scenes and interesting angles to make it work. But there's a couple of really iconic things I don't want to give away, of just the way people get slammed, the way they get hit. I think when you see the angles and you see the things on screen, it's going to really play into that. This is a superhero, super anti-hero film. So anyway, thank you.
That's awesome. What are the challenges that come with this film in particular when it comes to the stunts?
Yeah, well, doing stunts and doing fight choreography, the main challenges always come down to safety and thinking about the actors' level of experience, the time that we get a chance to train them to make sure that they're able to understand how to move and how to perform all of the stunts that we've got for them, to be able to get these these actors looking really good, on film. And that's really what my job is teaching them in a way that we can get them to show the results, show the hits, and make it sell and make it look believable for you guys, the audience.
Incredible. Thank you so much for your time, Tim.
We're here with Peter Delasanti at the Days of Sodom premiere. You were a producer and you also had the opportunity to act a little bit throughout the film. What made you want to get involved in such an ambitious movie?
Actually, when I found out Cody was involved with the movie, that made me decide to get involved with it. I'm a previous fan of his work in Voorhees. I feel as though he was a very passionate, independent filmmaker. and I contacted him for a prop from that movie. But what happened is when I found out about Days of Sodom, he invited me along to be a part of it, and I jumped at the opportunity.
And I feel like you guys have had a great working relationship since. I mean, it's been 3 years in the making almost, so I'm sure you guys have gotten close. Is there any talks of other projects moving forward with you guys?
Yes, there is. We're going to be working on another project that's going to be coming out next year. It's called The Nug. And after that, we're going to actually be working on my project, which will be coming out the following year in 2027. I'm actually going to have Cody and be my director in that, and we're going to work on that in 2027.
Fantastic. Now, as far as being on a movie set, you got to be part of being on camera and all the behind the scenes. Do you have a preference for which one?
Yeah, I have a preference for behind the scenes. I really enjoyed watching everything come about and the magic happen. We had a wonderful crew. We had wonderful people involved, people that went out of their way to make sure that everything was tip-top for what we wanted to happen. And it was a very good experience and something that you really can't put a dollar value on, and it's something that is really something that it's just unbelievable. You really can't put it into words. Met a lot of wonderful, wonderful people.
Well, there was certainly a lot of movie magic happening on the wet paint picture set. Thank you so much, Peter. Can't wait to watch the movie with you.
Yes, I can't wait for everybody to watch the movie. You enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing everybody's reactions afterward. Thank you.
Thank you. We are here with Brian LYONS-BURKE at the Days of Sodom premiere. You played Detective Roy Strauss in the film, and I have to say, I feel like your character is a bit of an unsung hero throughout the script. What was it like developing your character?
It was interesting. I mean, it's a challenge because he's the last good cop in the city, especially after he loses his partner. Getting the right tone for who's basically a falling down drunk detective who eventually has to come through in the end. I mean, it was a lot of fun and a lot of work, but I think we've got something good here.
And I guess my final question is, you're so booked and busy, and I know this is not your first Wet Paint Pictures film, so tell us about what it's like working on set of a Wet Paint Picture set.
It's different. There's a lot of changes that happen while you're working. It's not, they're very adaptable to whatever's going on and willing to change things and come up with new shots. I particularly like the work that our cinematographer has done. Just watching him work and set up the shots, it's been edifying for me. I've learned a lot, and it's been a joy, and it's been a long journey. I'm just glad to get to the end of it.
A very long journey, and now we're here to finally celebrate all the hard work that we've done.
Yes.
So Brian, a lot of people, a lot of work. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
We are here with Robert Franzese at the Days of Sodom premiere. Robert, you typically play a more comedic character in the world of Peter Griffin, and your role was the complete opposite of that. You played Carl Musk, and there was definitely some dark stuff that you had to do. What was it like exploring something different than your typical comedic stuff?
Honestly, I felt it was like a breath of fresh air, because I've been doing the Peter Griffin thing now for like 13 years. So for me to kind of stretch the creativity and do something different really felt good, because I'm not just a one-trick pony,
You really showed that. I mean, your performance was amazing. I've seen your scene. I was there when you were actually filming, and I was blown away. I really thought you did an incredible job. And this was your first film. So has this kind of given you some inspiration to go out there and try and see what else the world has to offer as far as film?
It's always funny. I always pictured myself getting into animation voice acting. That was really where my passions lied. And then when Cody hit me up to do this movie, I thought it was kind of like an interesting, different approach on the creative process. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a shot. And I really did enjoy the experience. And maybe we'll be working on something again soon. So keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open, guys. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
We are here live at the Days of Sodom premiere with NICOLE Yang, who plays Zia in the film. NICOLE, you got to act alongside Vernon Wells as his right-hand woman. How was that?
Well, honestly, I was more on his left the entire time. So left-hand underling. It was really amazing. I think I knew that as soon as I got onto set, we would have to be really close to make sure that the chemistry was there. And thankfully, he's so funny. Like, it was really easy. So I feel like it actually ended up being very natural.
The chemistry between you guys was great. I saw it on set behind the scenes, and I also saw it come out on the screen. And you guys had amazing chemistry. And you know what else stood out to me? Your outfits throughout the entire film. Like, goth aesthetic across the board. Did you have a part in picking out those outfits?
Yeah, so I think a big part was actually just Cody and Peter, where we all kind of just came together and tried to figure out the look for Zia. And originally just started out kind of in a Pinterest mood board, but then over time, they were always asking my input, and so we were all collaborating and finding the costumes. So it was just so fun. It was like dressing up a Barbie or something.
Well, I think you nailed it, and I do have to say, Vernon, you and Vernon are both playing villains in the movie, and both of you are literally the exact opposite, the both sweetest, kindest people. So was it hard to turn that on and off when you were bringing that intensity to a scene?
No, because I felt like it was actually like my wild side that I never get to put out. So it just like it was an expression. So it was super fun just to like be within those confines and kind of just play like that. So it was really, really fun actually.
I absolutely love it. So we'll get to see Nicole's alter ego in the film. Thank you so much. I can't wait to watch the whole thing with everybody. Awesome. We're here with my paisan, Johnny Alonso. You play Roman Williams in the movie, and I have to say, it is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's the first time the crowd gets to see the Crow, and you brought so much energy and life to this character. He's probably one of the most memorable villains. How was it with that experience?
It was great. Having a great director like Cody and a great team like you guys, a great producing team, I was very comfortable with building my character, and I just had an idea before we got on set what I wanted to do. So you guys came up with a great location with all the smoke machines, the rain machines, the lightning machines, and I just kind of played with it. So I wanted my character to be very believable, very real, because he's kind of like the footprint, the stomp at the very beginning of the movie. Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to see it.
You definitely made a splash, and it was really fun to watch you on set, getting into that and seeing your personality in person as well.
Yeah, I'm a spaz. You guys gave the actors liberty to play, and that's a great thing. I mean, I work a lot on TV, and on television you can play, but you remember you have parameters. You can only work this much because we only have this much to shoot and this much for airtime. In this film, we were allowed to open up, but I still kept my television timing. That's why I was kind of hyperactive and very quick in the show. But I'm really looking forward to it. Cody's been very tight with the footage, so I haven't been able to see it yet. But I'm glad, from hearing this from you, I'm very glad. I can't wait to see it.
Johnny, you were very booked and busy. I see you traveling all the time. So do you want to tell us about what you have coming along?
Absolutely. I'm working right now on a show called Rosemary Street series. It's been picked up by Binge TV. It's going to be on Hulu and Roku in a couple months. In fact, my co-star is Paula Black, who's also in this movie. So you have two paisans from Rosemary Street. So all of this combined, plus, Days of Sodom, I look like a celebrity. It's amazing, guys. So much work going on.
You're killing it, Johnny. I can't wait to see everything. Thank you so much. I cannot wait for everyone to watch the movie together so we can see that movie magic.
You're the greatest. Take care.
Thanks, Johnny.
See ya. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the legendary, iconic Mickie James. Mickie, how you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm so good, so good. How great is this? I'm so excited.
It's awesome. The energy off the charts. Got to congratulate you first and foremost. TNA Hall of Fame induction. How you feeling about that?
Amazing. So overwhelmed and overjoyed, humbled, and it was a whirlwind of a weekend last weekend, and now we're going to have another whirlwind of a weekend.
Absolutely. You can now add movie star to your legendary resume.
We'll see.
How are you feeling about this role you've taken on? Tara Dawson, what was the process of getting into that role?
Oh my gosh, no, crazy. I guess I have to give it up to Cody FAULK, who came to me to ask, about playing the role of Tara in this film. And just to, I don't watch a lot of horror films, so I'm actually terrified to just even be in the audience tonight. as a whole. But yeah, to just kind of embrace it and it was so much fun. And plus it's here in Virginia, my hometown, my backyard. And so to come home and film this and then also spend time with my family and get to work alongside Vernon and Cody himself, it was just, what a fun experience.
That's awesome. So, legendary Hall of Fame wrestling career, you're a singer-songwriter, now you've done a film. I have to ask, are there any more films for you in the future?
Man, this was so much fun. I say yes. I'm open to, I would love that. I would love. It was so much fun, and I didn't realize how much I would love acting. And wrestling is a lot of acting and reacting, I suppose, but the crossover is kind of interesting. I didn't even know how I would do in this world, but I had a blast, and I would totally do it again. So where you at, Cody?
Where are you, Cody?
Is a movie coming or what? Johnny on the spot.
Well, congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
I hope that it continues. I know it will.
Continue tonight. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. That's Mickie James for you. Thank you so much.
We are live at the Days of Sodom premiere with the one and only Vernon Wells. Vernon, you play the lead antagonist in the movie, and I have to say, after being on set with you several times, you are the exact opposite of the character you are playing. How is it going into that deep, dark character versus real life?
You know, it's funny because when I first started in the business many years ago, I had so many problems with playing villains and getting into that because it wasn't me. And I was always frustrated. And at one stage I was doing a play and I was one of the villains in it. And it ran for about 12 weeks. And by the end of it, I was very close to having a nervous breakdown because trying to fight this, and I was doing it the wrong way. What I was doing was making it part of who I am. And so then, whether you like it or not, it actually starts to overtake who you really are. But once I realized that being a villain, like everything else, is in the way you play it. And the minute you finish, you can wander off and give everybody a hard time. And then when the director says, okay, we're ready to go, you can walk back and be the villain again. And that's exactly the way I play it now. So I just be myself and have fun with it.
And you did an absolutely fantastic job, for sure. Another aspect of the film is, I know it's not your first rodeo doing stunts, but you've had quite a few stunts going on in Days of Sodom. I know you're a little older now, so was that hard on the body? You were definitely up for the challenge.
No, I'm used to doing all that because that's what I did a lot of when I first started, was stunts. You know, I rode horses, I could drive anything. I was very physical because I lived on a farm. So, of course, you know, you're doing all that farm stuff, picking up bales of hay, all kinds of stuff. So you're pretty much, you know, fit. So I would do, and because to me it was fun. So, and I used to do it a lot, and then when they asked me in this, well, they didn't ask me. Our stunt coordinator was terrified when I said, I'll do the kicks and the rolls and the whole thing, and he was like, no, and I went, watch this, baby.
You sure did it.
Yeah, no, it's just because it's the character, you know, it just carries through. Otherwise, I'm one of those dumbasses that always looks at it and thinks, he won't do it the way I do it. And I think that sometimes makes me feel a little uneasy that if you build a character and if there's something you don't like.
Right, someone else's physicality trying to mimic you could be very different.
So it's, you know, and I mean, everything we did was easy for me. I had a ball doing it. So.
Well, it was fantastic having you on set. You were incredible in the film, and I'm excited for us to all see it on the big screen. Thank you, Vernon.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure. I had a ball. I mean, come on. Look at these nice smiling faces here. You know
all
what?
The goth.
As a good villain, I could create havoc out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the man of the hour, Cody FAULK. How you feeling tonight?
Dude, a I'm lost with words. There's so much love in the room tonight. You know, so many Crow fans, so many people came from all over the world. I'm filled with so much gratitude, really.
That's awesome, man. Now, you wore so many hats when it came to this movie. Director, actor, editor, producer. How did you balance all of that?
You know, I think at the core, Days of Sodom is truly a passion project. It's really a film made by the fans, for the fans. And, you know, I think just keeping that passion throughout every single day. There were some days where we were kind of beaten down. It's a low-budget film, so there's a lot of challenges thrown at you. But every day we just try to remind ourselves this is a passion project. It's legit made by the fans, for the fans.
That's awesome, man. There's clearly a lot of passion here, and it's showing. Everyone's here, showing out. Everyone looks phenomenal. Now, I got to ask, after tonight, after everyone has seen the film, do you feel like you're going to put that makeup back on?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, never say never. We definitely have some ideas for a sequel. A lot of cool things in mind, but as of right now, we're going to see what happens. Never say never, though.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank you, buddy.
This is huge for all of us, and this is a testament to just all the effort you put in and the love you have for the Crow franchise.
Thank you, Newman. Thanks for being here. Thank you all.